Identity is built when no one's watching. So most men can perform in public, but real self-respect, real integrity comes from doing the things in private. So your home workout, your meditating, your journaling, all the things that you do in private by yourself, that's what builds real self-respect. So in this episode, I want to talk about the truth about image versus integrity. So it's easy to appear strong online. So before I started doing the Warriors Path podcast and before the world shut down, I was known as the prove it guy. I would do talks, work with people, and I would show incredible stunts. I would like get kicked in the groin, I'd walk on broken glass, I'd break chopsticks with my throat. And the whole point of it was to prove that there was nothing special about me. All these things were skills. All these things were the outside end point of what I had been doing in the inside by myself, behind closed doors when no one else was around. And the prove it guy existed because the prove it guy would prove there's nothing special about me, that anyone can do this, and I believe you can do it, and I would prove it as well. But when my life took a shift, I stopped believing in the prove it guy because I wasn't doing all of the things that the prove it guy stood for. I wasn't living a fearless life. I wasn't going out and trying to achieve more things on top of more things and doing incredible things. I just had a different focus, and the focus was very stressful at the time. And because of that, I developed different forms of like social anxiety. Distance anxiety would be the main one. And because like I've wrote a book explaining anxiety, the prove it guy couldn't exist because my integrity wouldn't allow me to pretend to be that guy, which would have been so easy to do online. Like even with this, I can fuck this up repeatedly and just edit out all the fuck ups and make it look clean, sharp, and amazing. But I don't. I just do it. I have notes here and I just let it flow, and whatever happens, happens. But I could have easily performed. I was a performer. I performed as a magician for a long time. I could have easily got in front of a camera and pretended to be this person that I no longer believed I was. I was the prove it guy. He was me. I did do all the things that I said I did, and I could teach anybody to do them. But in that time, I wasn't. So the image would have been easy to uphold. It's only a couple of minutes on camera. When I did talks, I'd only be on stage for 20 minutes, and I planned my talk, and I knew it. It was almost easy for me to do the talks and the demonstrations and everything because it was how I lived my life, and I could easily fake that. But who I am as a person isn't that. So my integrity just would not let me fake it. So your integrity is important because it's who you are when no one else is around. So I actually had this conversation earlier today where I was talking about during that phase of my life, I was trying not to let things change, even though dramatic things were inevitably going to change. I knew it was going to change. It was still happening, but I was trying to keep some form of control. And because I wasn't living that free lifestyle that I used to live, and I was living very controlled, and again, in hindsight, I thought I was in control. I wasn't in control. It was just something I was just grasping at. Probably something I'll go into in a different podcast, but just for today, we're talking about your identity. So if I sat at home and I was having these anxieties and these worries and these stresses, I couldn't then jump online and pretend everything was super awesome and have a great day. That would have just made things worse, and I would have felt like a fraud. So the prove it guy got killed off, not only just by the lifestyle, but by the choice of my integrity was worth more than my social media presence and being this person that people believe me to be. I was when they knew me as that, but I'm not now. So life is ever changing. So you reminding yourself that who you are when you're by yourself is what's important. So if I go out and I talk about how I journal all the time, and then you want, not that I would care, but if you wanted proof, I have books upon books of journals that I've journaled in, as I've been journaling now for 1,678 days or something like that in a row. Because it's just what I do. I meditate every day. I've pretty much meditated every day since I started martial arts. Begrudgingly at the start, but now it's something I do daily and I really enjoy it. So I know who I am now, just as I knew who I was then. So it's ever changing, but when you focus on your integrity and your belief for yourself, then you don't have to play a persona, and you don't then have to switch it on when, like, if you're out in the park and you're just trying to relax, then someone that knows you as that persona comes and you have to switch it back on. We don't want to be doing that. We want to be comfortable with who we are when we are by ourselves. So whenever, I've just wrote here that, like, the real work is in the silence. It's easy to go to the gym when there's people there and show off and pretend that you're really working your heart out and you love it and you really enjoy it, or jump on social media and talk shit about whatever it is that you want to talk about and claim that this is your passion and this is what you love doing. But then when you go home and you sit there and you have to take that mask off, like, is it worth it? It's probably not. So working in the silence, doing the home workouts, showing up early, just keeping your word, all those wee things that nobody's really judging you on, you're just judging yourself. These are what will keep your character strong and get rid of all imposter syndrome, get rid of self-doubt and lack of respect for yourself, because you're being true to yourself. So if you think about, the public praise doesn't matter, the public negativity doesn't matter, because you know who you are. None of that matters. If you come and tell me that this is the greatest podcast you've ever heard in your life, yes, I like hearing things like that. Not that I have. So you could be the first. But I like hearing things like that, but it doesn't dictate my day. It doesn't change the way I approach the podcast. I get in the same mindset and energy space, and I just deliver as best I can. That means the same thing happens if you come and say this is the worst podcast you've ever heard in your life. It affects me the same way. It's not going to bring me down. It's not going to ruin my day. It's just, it is what it is. It's your opinion. So I'm going to give you a journal prompt for this week to see, just to help you lock in with your identity and choosing integrity over image. So what do I do when no one sees? So what do I do when no one sees? And would I still do it if I knew no one would ever see it? So sometimes, as an example, we do our wee extra home workouts. So when we get to the gym, we look a bit more buff. So then people see it and go, oh, you're really doing good there. But imagine if you were doing it. Imagine if I was doing this podcast and no one ever listened to it, ever. Would I still do it? Yes, because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking about this stuff, even if it's just to myself. So that's your prompt. What do I do when no one sees? And would I still do it if no one ever would? Feel free to reach out to me and let me know how you get on with that prompt. Tag me in it if you share it on social media or anything. And until next time, have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I'll speak to you again soon.